Hi Facebook, I'm Ellie Frost, and this video is about how your belief determines your success. And you've probably all heard that, and I was having a really interesting conversation with someone yesterday about it. But it absolutely is true. Most people are making their belief conditional on their success. What I mean by that is most people are looking around and going, right, when I get the clients in, when I build the business, when my products sell, then I'll believe. And they're approaching everything they do with a lack of belief. That's never going to work. Your belief 100%, absolutely, beyond anything else, determines your success. It is that crucial. If you're not going to believe in what you're doing, you probably should get out of the game or work on it, because everything you do will come from that place of lack of belief. And nothing's more important. So last year I was working with a billionaire. I've worked with someone who built up a $500 million company. I know the difference between the mindset of someone who is absolutely in it to win and someone who doesn't have that belief. And it is just that simple, by the way. It's not because they were clever. It was not because they had all the better strategies. Yeah, they found people to help them, like me, but it wasn't that. What it was, they believed in it no matter what, because you have to believe. You have to fuel your belief no matter what. Life gets hairy. Sometimes things will happen in life. That's why I don't teach confidence, because confidence can, I kind of do, but it wobbles, right? Life can catch up with you and things can happen that jolt you. They can wobble your confidence. Confidence is not a requirement as much as belief and courage is, and passion. If you believe, if you're passionate enough, you will make it happen, but that is what will keep you in the game. If you are going to make your belief conditional and subject to all of the things working out first, you've definitely got it the wrong way round, and you're going to have a bumpy road of resistance and stress and anxiety. You're going to have to believe no matter what shows up. You're going to have to believe when things aren't working out. You're going to have to believe when life gets hairy. You're going to have to believe whether you've got the money or not. That is the only requirement. Like, really, at the heart of it, what does it come... Oh, thank you. What does it come down to? How much you believe. People think it's about how much am I going to go all in. Well, kind of, but you don't really have to do that. Belief is the foundational piece. If you just work on one thing, work on that, get yourself, that's why people teach you about, know why you're doing it, because it fuels that belief. It fuels reasons why. That's why people tell you, or coaches will tell you, well, make it about your family, make it about, the bigger picture, know who you're serving. And that really helps, right? Because when it's a purpose bigger than you, most of us will do much more for the greater good or for other people than for ourselves. So that really helps you believe. But if you're putting offers out there, if you're messaging, if you're doing stuff from a place where you don't really believe, you're kind of dipping your toe in and you're suggesting people work with you, or your messaging is kind of like, it's not coming from a place of absolute belief, then it will really show. And you can have the best strategies, you can have all sorts of things going on, but that belief is what's going to determine your success, especially if you're in front of people, because they can tell. And if you've got that belief, and if you work on that belief and just work on it, all of us wobble. I'm not saying that for those people I'm talking about that have had great success, that there aren't times when they were tested. That's going to be a definite. You are going to get tested. Do not imagine that it will always be a smooth ride. I hope it will be for you, but for most people, of course it's not. So knowing that the water can get stormy, right? You're going to have to believe. If you do anything, work on your belief. Know why, work on the purpose stuff, but believe. If you are not prepared to believe in it, no one else will. People are going to believe in you as much as you believe in yourself. That is the piece to work on. And you don't have to spend years working on your self-esteem and confidence, right? Because they do get knocked. But you have to believe in the vision. You have to absolutely believe in what you stand for and know that you're going to choose to believe. It's a choice, by the way. Belief is a decision and a choice. A belief is just a thought that you keep thinking, and you do have control. You do have choice on it, and you can build it up. It's not, that these people that, get everything and get great success, they were just born with this belief, right? They nurtured it. They trained on it. They fought on it. They just were so resilient in that belief. They were so determined to believe that and to make that real. And that's the thing that makes the difference. So ultimately, like, like, you can tell how successful someone's going to be by how much they believe in it. You can tell immediately. If they, and of course, people work with coaches like me, or, do whatever you like to kind of nurture that. But your belief is everything. Your belief is the thing that you can't give up, no matter what happens. I mean, if you read any stories or films on great leaders or people that succeeded, you'll often see many hard times, many hard knocks. And what kept them through that was that belief, right? They believed in it so badly. They absolutely stuck by their belief, no matter what life shows you, right? You just have to be bigger than that. You just have to shake it off. Work on your belief. If you've got any doubts, and that's normal. Doubts come into even the people that believe, but anything is possible for the one who believes. That's a fact. So that is the distinction. That is the thing to know. If you want a magic secret to success, that's probably the only one that there is. If you believe it enough, you will find the opportunities. If you believe it enough, you'll stay in the game. If you believe it enough, you will find whoever it is that can help you bring it to life. But you must believe. And we hear that all the time, but I don't think people understand what it means. What it means is you do not make your belief conditional on life showing you stuff. I'm only going to believe it when I get the success. I'm only going to believe it when I get to the next stage. I'm only going to believe it when people like me. I'm only going to believe it. You can't make it about that. You're going to have to believe it no matter how anyone responds to you, what happens, what the circumstances are. I'm not saying that you might need a better plan sometimes, that maybe your strategy is not good and you might need to navigate, but the fundamental thing that you need to know if you want to succeed at anything is you have to believe. You can't run a marathon, you can't compete without believing. And I'm not saying it's about competition, because it's not, but I'm just trying to compare it to like athletics or something. What's the difference? They believe. When you read the stories of some of the biggest champions in the world, right, they didn't start off champions. In fact, lots of them, they were not very good to start with. What they had was an absolute belief or a commitment to believing in it. And belief is something you work on. It's a muscle, right? So you have to kind of be willing to believe and start rearranging your thoughts around anything other than that belief. So when something else comes up, when you get doubtful, you have to be disciplined in how you channel your thinking. That's the discipline. It's not necessarily always discipline about forced action, because if you're forcing yourself to act and you're not coming from a place of absolute belief or near enough to, it won't be as effective. So the discipline comes in, how can I manage my thoughts and my actions around someone who would believe? If I'm going to put an offer out there, if I'm going to try and sell something, if I'm going to try and make something real, then if I really believed it was going to happen, how would I be approaching it? That's always the question to ask. That's always the place to approach it from. You have to come from it as if you believed. If you don't believe yet enough, then approach it as if you believed. What would the person that really believed in this, how would they be showing up? If I really believed I could make this happen, if I really believed I was the person that could make this work, how would I be showing up today? What action would I take from that place? Not from the person who's trying to prove to myself that I'm right, or prove to the world that it might work, or try and see if it would work. That's not from belief. I have to act like the person who absolutely believes this is mine, that I can claim this space, that this business or whatever you're trying to create is going to work. How would you spend your day today? What actions would you take? What would you be doing if you absolutely believed it could happen? If you weren't asking, if you weren't trying, if you weren't hoping, that trying, hoping, asking, it really doesn't lead to success. Owning it, claiming it, deciding, believing. And belief is a decision. Belief is a thought you keep thinking. If you need to work on it, work on it. But make sure you fuel it. Most people are putting their energy into the other stuff. So they're putting their energy into things that will help prove to them that they can believe. And that does work often, because they have goals and they try and make them work, and then they start working, and then they start believing. But the thing is, the point of power is to believe it first, no matter what, because then everything works out better and you don't get all the resistance. You don't really care at that point what's showing up or isn't showing up. You believe. So it don't really matter. Your belief is not conditional on what's working and what's not. Your belief is so sure that you're going to only start working towards things that are going to make it work. But you know that everything you're doing holds the most potential for you because you're coming from that place. If you're coming at anything from a half-hearted, half-arsed way where you don't really believe that it's going to work out for you, it will not have the impact. It will not have the attraction. It will not have the full force and effect of what it could be. So if you're doing 100 pages of self-work every day, work on your belief, not necessarily you can work on yourself, of course, your belief in yourself, but it's more than that. It's a belief that you can make this happen. It's a belief that whatever you're trying to do, you're going to believe in it no matter what. And that is a decision. Honestly, it's just a choice. It's just an absolute choice. I know that the world might be showing me this. I know that this might not look like it's working out right now, but I believe in it. I know I'm going to do it. I know this is going to work for me no matter what. And I know I'm going to find the way. I know I'm going to keep finding the way. I know I'm in the game. I believe in this so much that nothing's going to get in my way of that. I trust it. And if you can choose that, and if you can keep choosing that, it will 100% absolutely have to work. It has to work. It will come about. That is the difference. That is the overachiever mentality. That is how people that achieve extraordinary things think. They don't care what shows up. They know they're going to make it happen. And I know that sounds maybe idealistic, because most of us are so caught up in managing our problems that we're kind of losing sight of the bigger picture. Stop managing your problems and believe in what you want to create. Totally believe in it. Totally commit to it. The power you have in that place is huge. You're like a missile for success if you can get into that level of belief. But stop looking outside for things to help you believe. It's an internal job. It's a job where you are so committed to that happening that you choose to believe it no matter what, no matter what's coming up for you, no matter what's showing up. And it will lead you to a path of least resistance where you're not caught up in fear and anxiety the whole time because you believe in it, right? So you're not looking for that person to tell you it's okay. You're not looking for that result to validate you. You believe in it. You believe in it. You make offers from that place. You ask for whatever you're putting out in the world. When you're approaching your customers, when you're doing stuff, you're coming from it with that belief, and it's strong. And therefore, people will be much more attracted to your message. They'll be much more attracted to your work. They'll be much more attracted to your offers because there's something very solid about how they're being put out. So think about that. Like, don't hope and try and ask your way through it. You've got to own it. You've got to believe in it. You've got to come from that place. There's such a huge energy in that. But it also means that you stop this indecision of like, oh God, am I doing the right thing? And you stop wobbling around the place. You just own it. You claim it. You believe in it. It's yours. And at that place, you will be so focused in making it work. You'll find the right things to do that. Absolutely, 100%. That is the difference between people that succeed and don't succeed. They have a different level of belief, and they are not born with it. They choose it. They commit to it. They decide that it doesn't matter if the door gets shut in their face. They don't care how many no's they receive. They absolutely know that they believe in it, and they keep believing it, and they keep fueling it. And guess what? They make it happen. So I hope that's inspiring. Believe in what you're doing, fundamentally. Work on that muscle. It's not something that you have to think, oh my goodness, I don't have that, other people have it. It's not like that. It's a choice. It's a decision. It's a daily discipline to believe no matter what, to believe no matter what's going on around you. You've got to get in tune with that. You've got to believe in it. You've got to just commit to that belief. That is, and know how essential it is. It's not like a nice to have. It is essential to success. It absolutely is important. And I'm not saying that you can't waver. I'm not saying that you can't have days where you don't believe and you don't wobble, but you pick yourself, you catch yourself in those moments and you navigate yourself back to, okay, no, I believe in this. I'm going to make it work. I believe I am. I believe in what I'm doing, and approach everything from that place, not from the place of trying to get the world to show you that you can believe, right, because something's worked out for you. That place is not sustainable, where you're looking at externally the whole time for the results. You're looking externally for people to validate it, and then you're going to believe, then you'll go all in. It just doesn't work. It's not sustainable. You have to believe it first. You have to come from that place. Everything you do comes from that place. You stand in that power. That's what attracts it in. That's what makes it work. That is the energy of someone who succeeds. It's someone who just believes so much in what they're doing, or is prepared to, or is willing to, and gets passionate, gets fueled up in it, that really gets you through anything. You know what? Doesn't matter what shows up, doesn't matter what's happening right now. I don't understand sometimes, you know, maybe you don't understand sometimes why things may or may not be working, or why they're working the way they are. Don't worry about it, just keep believing in it, and your mind will focus in a way that's going to help you. You'll find the right people to help you, you'll find the right opportunities to get you through it if you come from a place of belief. But if you're coming from a place of, I just need this to prove to me that I'm on the right track, or, you know, you're looking for all these signs that it might work, well, you're looking externally and you're coming from a place of lack. You're coming from a place of lack of belief, and probably that's what's going to get validated for you. You know what? That's why people talk about they have like feast or famine months in their business, or, you know, things work out and they don't. It's your wobble, normally your lack of belief, and the world kind of validates that. The world kind of, you know, just, you know, kind of feeds back to you whatever's going on with you. So you want to get into your belief, and you need to know that it's not something that's just people are born with. You have to practice it, you have to commit to it, you have to decide, I believe in this no matter what, I'm going for it no matter what, nothing matters, doesn't matter what happens externally, I'm still going to make this work, I still believe in this vision, I'm still committed to it, and I'm going to approach everything from that place. I'm going to approach it from the place of someone who actually believes this is going to happen, this is going to work. And see how that changes things. Have a great day, guys.